Ladies and gentlemen, the game is coming out of the refrigerator, the door is open, the lights are on, eggs are warming, the butter's getting soft, and the Jell-O's definitely not jiggling. The claim I'm responding to is Armando's. He says that the Lakers are going to win the 2008-2009 NBA championships. His secondary claims were, 1, the Lakers have success against NBA's elite teams. 2, they have the most talented group of players. 3, they have more experience than the top Western Conference teams and the Cavaliers. And lastly, he says the Lakers are healthy and others are not. My response to these claims is that the Los Angeles Lakers are not going to win the NBA championships. The Cleveland Cavaliers are. My claim is that 1, the Lakers players are not the most talented. 2, the experience the Lakers have is hindering, not helping them. 3, Lakers are not healthy. And lastly, if the finals come down to Lakers versus Cavaliers, Cavs would win. All right. So first, Armando argued that the Lakers have the most talented players, but he failed to mention that LeBron James won MVP this year and holds an average of 35 points a game in the playoffs, well over that of Kobe's 27. Also, Andrew Bynum has played terribly during the playoffs. According to ESPN.com, Bynum is scoring 4 points a game in the playoffs. During regular season, he averaged 14 points a game. He is averaging 3 rebounds a game during playoffs, whereas during the season, he averaged 8 rebounds. Also, Bynum is playing an average of 14 minutes a game in the playoffs, whereas in the regular season, he averaged 29 minutes a game. His playing time has been cut in half due to his poor level of performance. Bynum's poor play causes the Lakers to lose. Secondly, the greater experience that the Lakers have is hindering them, not helping them. Armando noticed that they have more experience than other teams, but I see it differently. To me, the Lakers' great experience in the many years they've been playing is making them old, cocky, and tired. Take, for example, Game 3 of the Utah series and Games 1 and 4 of the Houston series. If the Lakers were experienced in a good way, they would have known that the Jazz and Rockets would come out swinging, and they needed to have their guard up. Instead, the Lakers played way too relaxed and came out like they had already won the game. This caused them to lose all 3 games. My third point is the Lakers are not healthy. Armando argued that the Lakers are in great health, but I found otherwise. In Game 4 versus the Rockets, Lamar Odom got injured. According to Lakers spokesperson John Black, Monday morning CT and MRI show that Odom has a lower back contusion or bruised back. Lamar Odom is the Lakers' key rebounder. Without him, the Lakers will suffer. Health is a funny thing. One day you're great, the next day you might be sicker than a dog. So it's not fair to say that the Lakers will be healthier. We can't really predict whether they're going to be healthy or not. And in addition, the series between Houston and the Lakers has been very grueling. If the Lakers make it past the series, they will come out exhausted with cuts and bruises and not really in good shape to even be playing the Western Conference Finals. And if they do beat Houston, then they will be most likely to go on and play the Denver Nuggets, which is another very aggressive physical team, and it's much tougher than what the Cavaliers are facing. The Cavaliers have won their series and they have 5 days to rest before they have to play the Celtics or the Magic. This gives them time to rest and prepare for future games, whereas the Lakers don't have that time. And my fourth point and last point is that Cleveland Cavaliers will win the finals if it comes down to Cavs versus Lakers. The Cavaliers will have home court advantage, and they have earned the best regular season home record. So giving that home team advantage will really give them an edge against the Lakers. And also, LeBron James is a better player than Kobe Bryant. Vaso Rabunchuk, a sports writer, agrees that James is younger but stronger, a better dunker, and a team player with a pass-first mentality. And we already know that he has better stats than Kobe Bryant. So due to everything I've just discussed, if miraculously the Lakers even make it there, they will not beat the Cavs to win the 2008-2009 NBA Finals.
Well, I like the quote at the beginning to get our attention, kind of the reversal of the usual Chick Hearn. You've got a good, clear statement of what your counterclaim is. You signpost the supporting points very well. I thought you had very clear analysis on each of the points that you're presenting, and you cited evidence on each of those points to back up your position, including statistical information, for instance, about the play of the Lakers and the Laker team members in comparison, for instance, to the regular season. I thought that was pretty solid. The inference about the Lakers being old, cocky, and tired, I thought that was, you had the 3 games example. I think you're largely depending on people being familiar with that to illustrate that point, and I think you could probably provide us with some quotes or examples from sports analysts who've looked at those games to support that particular point, but I think that you've got the right conclusion that you're making there. The health issue, I thought that was a pretty reasonable point, especially to talk about the possibility of health issues facing the Lakers after coming out of a bruising series like the one they have with the Rockets and facing the Denver Nuggets. Again, some information about the Nuggets and their physical style of play would, I think, be appropriate evidence to provide on this particular point. I thought you did a good job presenting direct counterclaims on the advocates' points, and the comparison about Kobe versus LeBron James I thought was pretty effective at the end. I got to tell you, if the Lakers lose tonight, I'm going to forward this video to Armando.